everyone, myself Shabana Kadri, the senior teacher of AM Public School, is going to describe you the different stage in the life cycle of a butterfly. First stage, the egg. A butterfly starts life as a very small, round, oval or cylindrical egg. The egg shape depends on the type of a butterfly that laid the eggs. Then come to next stage, that is larva or caterpillar. When the egg finally hatches, the caterpillar emerges and starts feeding on the leaves in which it was present. Then third come to next stage, that is pupa. As soon as caterpillar is done growing and they have reached their full length weight, they found themselves into a pupa. From the outside of the pupa, it looks as if the caterpillar may just be resting, but in the inside is where all the action is done. Inside the pupa, the caterpillar is rapidly changing. Then come to next stage, that is final stage as a butterfly. So finally, when the caterpillar has done all of its forming and changing inside, the pupa and the adult butterfly start emerging. As soon as butterfly has rested after coming out of the pupa, it will pump blood into the wings in order to get them working and flapping, then they get to fly. So, these are the stages in the life cycle of a butterfly. Thank you. Have a great day. Hello everyone, myself Shabana Kadri, a senior teacher of PM Public School, is going to describe you the photosynthesis process. Photosynthesis is the process used by plants, algae and certain bacteria to harness energy from sunlight and turn into chemical energy. The basic material required by the plants for food production are carbon dioxide, water, and in the presence of sunlight, and chlorophyll help to trap the sunlight, which act as a catalyst for the reaction. Plants get carbon dioxide from the air by the help of stomata, and the roots help absorption of water. The chlorophyll traps the sunlight and then reaction begins. The carbon dioxide and water combine to form a glucose, which is the food material of a plant, and the oxygen emerges as the byproducts which all living organisms need to respire. So, this is the process of a photosynthesis. I hope you all know it. Thank you. Hello everyone, myself Shabana Kadri, a senior teacher of PM Public School, is going to describe you the different stage of a teeth. So, as you know, overall adults have 32 teeth in total, so called permanent or secondary teeth, and includes 8 incisors, 8 premolars, and 12 molars, and 4 canines. So, first of all, we know about incisors. Incisors are present at the front of our mouth. These teeth have sharp edges and are adapted for cutting food into small chewable pieces. Humans have 8 incisors and 4 incisors in the upper jaw and 4 in the lower jaw. Then come to next, that is canine. Canine are also called cuspids. They are situated at the corner of the dental arches. They are characteristically sharp, elongated and pointy surface. Their primary function is to grip and tear food, though food such as meat. Humans have 4 canines, 2 in the upper jaw and 2 in the lower jaw. Then come to premolars. Premolars are also called bicuspids and are located behind the canines. These teeth have a flat surface with ridges, which is adapted for crushing and grinding food into smaller portions. Humans have 8 premolars, 2 on each side of the jaws. Then next come to molars. Molars are the largest and strongest teeth. It has a large and fattening biting surface which is well adapted for grinding food. Humans have 12 molars, 6 in each jaw. 4 of those were wisdom teeth, which is also called the third molar, which comes in between the ages of 17 to 25. Now we know about the wisdom of teeth. Wisdom teeth also referred to as the third set of molar. They are vertical and final set of molars. This set of teeth appear between the ages of 18 to 25. As per the reports and dentist advice, most of them remove their wisdom teeth, and this is mainly because of poor alignment and partial eruptions, which result is the bacterial infectious disease, pain, swelling and stiffness of the jaw. So students, today we know about the different types of teeth. So I hope you all are enjoying. Thank you. Hello everyone, myself Shabana Kadri, a senior teacher of Beyond Public School, is going to describe you the water cycle. Water cycle also called hydrological cycle. Cycles that involve the continuous contribution of water in the earth atmosphere system. Of the many processes involved in the water cycle, the most important are evaporation, transpiration, condensation, precipitation and runoff. Although the total amount of water within the cycle remains essentially constant, its distribution among the various processes is continuously changing. The heat of the sun provides energy to make the water cycle work. The sun evaporates water from the ocean and into the water vapor. This invisible vapor rises into the atmosphere where the air is colder. Then the colder air causes water vapor to condense into water droplets and clouds. Volcanoes can produce steam which form clouds. In the atmosphere, air current move clouds all around the earth. Water droplets form in clouds which then fall to earth as a precipitation or as a rain or as a snow. In cold climate, precipitation builds up as snow, ice and glaciers. Snow can melt and becoming runoff which flows into river, the ocean and into the ground. Some ice evaporates directly into the air, skipping the multiphase. Rainfall on land flows down the hills as runoff, providing water to lake, river and the ocean. Some rain soak into the ground as unfiltration and if deep enough become groundwater. Water moves underground because of gravity and the pressure. Groundwater close to the land surface is taken up by plants. Some groundwater steps into river and lakes and can flow to the surface as spring. Plants take up groundwater and evaporate it from their leaves. Some groundwater goes very deep into the ground and stay there for a long time. Groundwater flows into the ocean, keeping the water cycle going. I hope you all know the water cycle process and enjoy it. Thank you. Have a great day. Hello everyone, myself Shabana Kadri, a senior teacher of Beyond Public School, is going to describe you the different types of food. As you know that food is very essential for our body. So here we know different types of food. First is energy giving food. The second is muscle gain or bodybuilding food. Third is energy or protective food. So first we know what is energy giving food. Food that gives energy is called energy giving food. We need energy to work and play. Energy giving food is rich in carbohydrates and starch. Wheat, potato and sugar are rich in carbohydrates. So here are some examples just like fruits, Greek yogurt, coffee, eggs, berries, nuts, oatmeal and green tea. It gives so many energy to our body and it's called energy giving food. So come to next, that is muscles gain or bodybuilding food. The food that helps in bodybuilding our muscles and bones and healing injuries is called bodybuilding food. Bodybuilding food is rich in proteins. So spinach, beef, fruits, cottage cheese, almonds, fish are so many energy that builds our muscles. Then come to third, that is protective food. The food that helps to fight disease and to remain healthy is called protective food. Protective food is rich in vitamins and minerals. Fruits and vegetables are protective in food. Just example, oats, almonds, bananas, yogurt, apple, honey, milk and beans. It is protective food. It protects our body from outside disease. So here we know different types of fruits. I hope you all are enjoying. Thank you.